gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO.
Base race? It's a base race! They're marching, they're flashing, they're gonna go for this one! I don't believe this! I do not believe this!
Only aim for perfection, ain't no half-stepping. I'm gonna take you back, spitting facts, you gotta live with that. Who got it? Who won it? No problem, we mobbing in the city.
Champagne!
Do or die, it's either all or nothing. Best believe I'm leaving out with something. Anytime I got the crowd jumping, throwing rings, you know they fist.
Just evaporated. Gudo locking them all in place, linking up with Kiyose. That's an ace!
Ladies and... Wow! What are you doing here?
We didn't agree to that ahead of this.
No, we didn't. I'm sorry. But at the same time, hey guys, welcome back to the LCO, delivered by Menulog. We got Carbon. He's appeared next to me. That's not Kitty.
Surprise.
You just fully changed. Either way, look, Tim's here today. Big Carbon to bring us all the fun. Day 3 of the Super Week. A lot of action, a lot of big games, and a lot of big jacked, scary casters as well. They're on the other couch though. How you doing?
Jeez.
Far out.
Keep those down for a second.
Careful with those.
Look at old mate over here.
I'm covered up today. When
Yeah, hide them all,
I
hide them all.
feel kind of
hide them
bad. I half pre-planned that with myself to do that, and Tim didn't like it. But look, I'm loud. I held back during the rehearsal, and now you just have to deal with it. I'm sorry.
I'm running this ears empty. I've got no earpiece in this ear, so I can just I can hear you really well, really clear. And I did that on purpose because I thought I don't want to miss anything Mac is saying. It's been a while since I've been on the couch.
I feel like you need earplugs to not miss anything I'm saying half the time. Either way, look, we had a bunch of big games yesterday and the day before, but yesterday gave us so many big upsets. Skimmy, which one was your favorite? Because there was plenty.
This one right here, mate. The fact that Peace had taken triple inhibitors and weren't able to close out the game, an absolute nightmare for them, right? The fact that we're going to see this final team fight here, everything being done to try and close out the game. Paparize holds on to his ult for the very last moment, just a self-cast. And then you're just looking at Mikru on the Corgi, who was the MVP in this game, just gunning away from a distance, goes golden, continues to rain hot fire from afar, and just jumps on in and just wipes the floor with them. And ultimately, it came down to another case of the Kale incident,
Yes,
which is now my new favorite word after
I've
Rusty
been
wants to
saying
coin
incident
everything.
every 5 minutes
Yes.
until it
16
went
out of
into
16, I guess.
There was definitely the Kale incident. Mammoth loved that one. But yesterday I saw, honestly, a lot of surprising games. I think this one, for example, 3 out of 4 of us went for pensnet.gg expecting a win, but Puma and the rest of Order, namely Kisei, went absolutely insane. Like a 25 Magi stack Ari from him. And then, what do you say about this game?
Yeah, arguably, it was like the cleanest Ari game we've seen.
Yeah.
Chiefs, of course, just devastation, destruction, demolition. Pick a word starting with D, and it probably, makes this one descripted well.
I think despair for Raze, right? Having his red buff stolen away there by Arthur, saying that, well, that far ahead, you don't even need any more
His
buffs.
biggest competition was his own jungler.
Absolutely.
It was that was a lot of fun, that game. But look, the closeout as well, Kanga with another dub. That was a big one. Cho, support, threw us off, seemed to throw everyone else off as well. And Kanga, 2 out of 2 for the Super Week. They are coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, I mean, we finally saw Suman cop some mid-bans, got forced onto the Orianna, and despite a pretty good KD by the end of the game, I think he was not nearly as impressive as he usually is. Kanga, on the other hand, making sort of mid-season push into the middle of the table.
Certainly was. Speaking of the table, we got it right here to have a look at after the 2 days of games we've seen this week. Chiefs undefeated, tie for 3rd 3 damn ways. Direwolves, PGG, and Order. And then Peace sitting pretty in 5th. Now, Kanga, not too far away with a couple of big wins this week. Mammoth, the same can be said, 3 and 7. Really starting to nip at Peace's heels if they can't find that consistency. And Gravitas still winless. But, Carbon, I want to hear your thoughts because you haven't been on the broadcast yet. Looking at this ladder, did you ever expect it would look like this 10 days in?
Definitely not. I think Direwolves are having a really great second season. They made a couple personnel changes in the off-season.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. I was a little bit worried for them actually having lost Gudo to Order, but Poltron, more than serviceable, has been playing quite well. Peace are quite far down. I mean, we know that Violet is on break right now, but we were all expecting big things from them coming into this season. Violet's returning had such a stellar year last year. One of those classic OS hyper carries. You think about people like FBI, Lost, King, Raze. Violet really felt like the next in that sort of esteemed line of players. But this season, not yet. Kang is a big surprise as well, sneaking their way in. I mean, probably their split one is a little bit weaker than we were expecting. But I mean, at this pace, we could have, what is that, like 5 teams all tied for second? Like, it's only 1 or 2 games apart.
Yeah, it's crazy how many games we've seen, not only this week, but through the 2 splits so far, and a whole bunch of action, a whole bunch of upsets, and we may see more of those today. I'm looking at all of these games. Chiefs and PGG was like runner-up for potential match of the week there as well. But look, PGG still trying to find that form, and Chiefs are just untouchable, it feels. Grav and Kanga, another test of Kanga's consistency for the week. Gravitas may be able to get that first W on the board. Order and Peace for the 3rd game at 8 PM. That's where I'm looking as well, because Order played clean yesterday. Peace still trying to work out those kinks. And then 9 PM, Mammoth and Direwolves. Ask me last week who'd win that, and I would have said Direwolves every day. But now, after what we've seen from Mammoth this week, this patch has just been a whole bunch of fun for them, Rusty.
Yeah, Mammoth have started to find themselves a little bit more, and that's not defaulting back to, you know, things like the Lucian Nami that saw success for them bot lane. Instead, we're seeing the Kayle still, but the rest of the team playing different champions. And for me, this week has been all about the junglers starting to go pretty crazy. Mayfun, Foreigner for Kangaroo Mammoth, 2 big performances, 2 big wins.
And that's it. And we've got a jungler here to, you know, rate their performances as the day goes on to see how they're doing. Good enough for jungler, a fellow jungler.
Get some representation, finally, on the couch.
We're sitting
professional solo queue victims.
in the green room. I'm going to be gold after I spend a whole day with Tim. It's going to be great. Now, look, we've got 100% presence champs to have a quick look at here as well since patch 12.12, so, you know, over the last 2 days. Yuumi, 2 picks, 6 bans. Everyone thinks something's up there, and she's got a 100% win rate every time she slips through. Tim, I won't ask you about it because, of course, you know, I'll ask you about Wukong in a little bit, but
Sure.
Rusty, why
Hey.
Yuumi? You love Yuumi.
I love Yuumi.
He loves
Yuumi
Yuumi.
enthusiast.
A big Yuumi fan. No, I mean, Yumi's pretty broken. I feel like I've said that for about 3 years, though. It does feel like with the durability patch coming across, Yuumi still existing, having a very relevant heal, but also being able to provide utility that other enchanters lost, right? Insane amount of movement speed and being untargetable to just enable others has always been an innate bonus that Yuumi had. It's funny because the original iteration of Yuumi was so heal heavy, they changed it to be movement speed, and everyone was like, hold up,
This is better.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is worse.
Yeah, the crazy thing I think with Yuumi as well is she obviously is extremely safe, very difficult to kill her without a teammate making a mistake, and scales really well, right? But what I think we find, especially in the pro level, is it's not the Yuumi that I think maybe viewers are used to, or that we are used to. It's not an AFK Yuumi. This is a person likely who is actually quite good at Yuumi, who is playing sort of riskier, hopping off, get that mana back, proc that shield, get that Moonstone Airy going. So I think the fact that she's so safe, when you couple that with a player who is piloting her well, not just your auto-filled solo queue teammate, she's a real threat.
I think even to add to that as well, we've certainly seen some mechanics which seems a bit bizarre, right, for a Yuumi, but, you know, soaking Zoe Trouble Bubbles, soaking the kick from a Lee Sin, right, and jumps back on. You're thinking, how on earth, right, is a Yuumi being able to do all this, then become untouchable, right? The only real way that you can get them off is with that hard CEC, so they can't recouple for, what, 5-6 seconds? So,
yeah, it's a really, it feels sort of disingenuous to say, I guess, but that's one of the key parts of Yumi's skill expression.
Sure.
Is being able to soak skill shots, soak damage, soak key abilities while not getting interrupted and being able to hop back on your teammate.
sure.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, do we want to talk about any other champs, or do we want to keep talking about Yuumi? Because
I'm so happy to move on.
I thought I'd just, get a vibe of the
Feel it
room
out.
real quick. By the way, Zeri has been doing not as well as we thought, considering how strong she's been. Seraphine haven't even had a chance to see her because she's been banned out for 2 days straight. No one wants to let that one slide through. And Wukong, not as strong as what we kind of saw last week, but just overall, very, very strong pick in the jungle.
Yeah, so I think just to cap them off really quick, I think with Zeri, I think we saw Gravitas pick her up yesterday, which is never good for the win rate. She's a sort of a risky champ in that there's quite...
It's true. I'm laughing because it's just back. But
There's quite a lot of... she moves very quick, she's scaling damage, and she's an 80 carry. She's still easy to pick, whereas the other champs on that list are quite difficult to kill. I mean, Seraphine is extremely strong in the flex.
Yeah.
She's been played support, AD, and mid. Scales extremely well. Another enchanter during durability patch. Yuumi we spoke at length about already. Wukong's another one. He's got that clone. He's got the stone skin, the passive bonus armor. He's got 2 gap closers. He's got the E and the clone and the move speed of the ult. So another champ that's really difficult to kill.
Very true. Now, look, Tim, I'm going to get you to cover your ear real quick because we've spoken about serious things. I'm not joking. It's time for some fun. It's time for the LCO Champion Conundrum!
Is today the day luck's with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
Been a little bit sneaky there.
Hiding in
When
the
did you
back.
jump in the photo shoot?
I did ask him to put Kitty's hair on me, but that didn't happen.
We can
obviously.
find. I'll find a wig out the back. Does Kitty wear a wig, or does she leave a wig here, or is
Quite
that real?
confident that Kitty's
Don't
hair
think
is
so.
Kitty's
I'm
hair.
pretty sure that's
Oh,
real.
true. Look,
Yeah.
It's all
I'm just
hers.
not paying enough attention. Big idiot Mac. Now, look, it is, of course, going to be LCO champ stats in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire form. It's going to be, multiple choice questions, multiple choice answers, A, B, C, D, and we have to figure out what the stat is. We'll write it down on a whiteboard, all revealed together. You know how it is. But also, let's see if anyone gets devious and tries to throw each other off with what they think is or...
Are
some
you participating or are
great
you
conversation.
question
Yeah,
master?
I am. Tim just
Yep.
wanted to hold both of them. But
Yeah, I was
it's-
just trying to. It's my first day here. I want to make
Yeah.
a good impression.
Thank you
There
very
go.
much.
Teacher's pet.
such a gentleman.
That's me.
My favourite talent on the couch for the moment.
On that couch.
Yeah, on this couch. On a couch.
course.
Now, look, guys, let's throw up question number 1 and see what the answers are. Which player currently holds the highest KDA in the LCO? Is it A, Tally, B, Arthur, C, Yuri, or D, Aladoric? Ooh,
I feel like it is one of the chief members.
I think the
I
same.
don't know. Yuri plays mid. Mid laners get a lot of kills.
Yuri's had some
And deaths
huge
and
games
assists.
as well.
He's had some deathless games.
Remember all the clean games as well at the start of the season that like a lot of the teams were getting? We'd have MVPs that were always deathless. So that's going to pump
Deathless
up
makes
those
a
KDs.
big difference.
It
That's
does,
true.
Are we just writing one thing?
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Just one letter.
Done.
Are we all written?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Secured? Ready? 3, 2, 1, bam.
Oh, mine's a bit small.
D, D, B, B. Okay, so we're between
Oh.
Arthur and Aladoric. Which one is it? Oh, it's Arthur!
Wow,
let's go.
no way.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's crazy. Letting me
15.
down, Ali.
KDA
Get it
of
together, mate.
15.
Because what was his Viego KDA? It was like 1 death across
Yeah,
3
yesterday.
games.
Okay, to be fair, we had an Arthur stat come up yesterday that was like 7 million KDA on Viego in
Yeah,
3
okay.
games.
Oh, that's
And
true.
he's played
Just
Viego
in
like
case you
4
need
games
this
in a row
tomorrow.
now.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Arthur, congrats, big man, but he still eats mayo on his HSPs. Now, look, let's move over to question number
Master
2.
of mayonnaise.
So who's really winning?
Master of mayo. Ugh, maybe that's a secret. As much
I
as
don't
we all
even
don't
need
want
to
it to be. Which,
I know, I already know.
Yeah, there's
I
no
already know.
shot it's any
I
other
actually
Drake.
know this too because it's crazy. Which Drake has been
You
killed
already
the
know,
most
surely.
throughout Split 2 of the LCO? Is
I
it
don't know if I know
A,
this
Cloud? Is it B, Ocean? C, Infernal? Or D, Mountain? No Arc in there.
I mean, we'll just.
Tim,
Actually,
what was that
we'll go with
crazy
this one.
Drake, Tim, that you came up with in that
Actually,
from the
Hex
fans
Texel?
the other week?
Yeah.
You came up with a funny one.
Oh, carbon drag.
The Carbon Drag.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that one?
Oh, you missed your
yeah.
skill shots or something,
Missed your
wasn't
skill
it?
shots and you lose your
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
But I forgot about the zone. The you know how it changes the map. I didn't come up with anything for the map. I should have done that.
Oh,
Oh,
true.
very
What would that
true.
be?
Yeah, look,
Mandatory push-up
I think we need to
zones.
run it again because that was pretty interesting. Now, look,
You have
let's
to get off the computer
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you run into
Have
the
we
river.
all-
10 push-ups IRL.
I think
you
we're all on
can't
the same
control.
page here. So, ready? 3?
Oh, I did it
Two.
too small again. Let
Oh,
me do
wait.
it big. Let me do it big.
Just grow its
Hey.
legs.
Okay,
One
you
go.
said A.
There you go.
Let's just go.
Hey.
It has to
If
be.
it's not, yeah, we're.
It has to be.
And it has to be because
That's
we
what
have
we've-
had Cloud Souls.
It is a
Perma.
global curse.
Perma.
Doesn't matter what
Wait, is it
broadcast I tune
global?
into.
The spirit of Atlas lives
I watch
through
LCK and Alice is always molding about Cloud Drake as well.
It's just
I think he's come full circle.
I
He's no longer
used to like
molding.
it when it
He's
had
not
like
racing.
you
He's
know,
actually
the
happy
actual
about it?
cooldown
Yeah, he's
reduction.
now
Oh,
pro Cloud.
But since it's just been movement speed, I'm like, nah. Now it's actually
Well,
boring.
it's also
Well, I
ultimate
think it's
cooldown.
win rate has gone up though since
I
it's been
thought-
move speed.
the alt cooldown got removed.
It used to be scaling ult cooldown, didn't it? And then move speed at the end, but now it's
It gives
The-
you.
the same.
The base Drakes give stuff still, right? Which is what actually makes it quite good. I'm pretty sure that's alt.
Wasn't there
I'm gonna
rework for
double
slow
check
It used to be
resist?
ult cooldown. I'm
What is
not
it
confident
now?
now that I'm saying it on
No.
broadcast.
Yeah, I know.
I
But
We're gonna double check. We got more questions to get through
I'm
real
saying
quick.
this during
We'll check this out the
games.
back. All right. Question number 3. Sorry. The game with the most kills so far this split was Mammoth versus Gravitas in week 3. How
Banger.
many kills were in
I almost wrote the
that
number without saying
game?
I
You
think
want
I
to have
know.
a
I
crack
think I
before
know.
we see? 39.
Yeah, we can say it.
B, 41. C, 43. Or D, 44?
Oh,
What,
I'm
either
not
any of these
sure.
numbers the one that you were thinking?
Yeah.
No, Rusty.
No.
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 Rusty's been stumped.
Whoa.
We'll go for it. We're not going to do the standard multi-choice question of if in doubt C. We're not doing it.
Can you stop looking at mine, please, Mac?
I already have an answer, Carbon. Okay. I actually have a
You
letter
guys
that
didn't see it on
starts
screen, but he was cheating.
your name. Either way, look, 3, 2, 1, bam.
Okay, we've got some variants this time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
C, 2 Ds and an A.
What is it? D. Damn.
Nice.
It is D.
Love to see it, boys.
Dang it.
Knew it.
Dang it.
Did you know?
Yes, I did.
I think it's Legacy.
Next.
I think it's Legacy
So
Grav in
humble.
like 2021 Split 1. Maybe Split 2. They had like their highest was like 60.
Ooh,
Like
Yeah.
LCO history.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
There
Now,
you
look,
go. Shout out Legacy
2
2021.
more questions. Still got to get through them. What's question number 4? Which of the following champions has been banned the most in Split 2? Oh, I feel like this could be a trick question. A. Lucian, B. Wukong, C. Senna, or D.
The issue is the
Gangplank?
patch changes.
It is
So-
actually.
Most banned.
I've done my 50-50 in my head. I just don't know what it is
What is
between
it?
the
Stat
two.
Master Skimmy?
Yeah. Come on, stats.
I know the
Skimmy.
presence, but I don't
Skim
know
stats.
the ban fact.
I'm a go.
I'm thinking.
I'm a go.
I reckon it's definitely Gangplank.
Yeah, I reckon you guys should all ride Gangplank. I keep doing it so small. There you go.
I reckon it's that. Screw
I
it.
don't know.
I actually don't
This
know.
I think it's a
The
genuine
more-
50-50.
The more
for
I
us.
think,
I'm not sure.
the less I know.
It's better not to think with things like this.
Yeah. Well, let's. We've all got answers. Hopefully. 3, 2, 1.
Can't write a letter.
Reveal.
Dude, I was trying to...
Oh, we all. Okay. I thought there'd be more for Wukong there. Anyway, let's have a look at what it is.
Okay.
Oh, it was
No,
Wukong.
it's Wukong.
I thought.
I
No,
thought
because
Wukong
I
has
thought
been
it wasn't,
played all the time.
because we
saw him
yeah,
played
he
so
gets played
much.
so much. That's what I thought.
We need the
Yeah.
numbers. We need the numbers.
Okay, we're getting the numbers.
I thought it was Senna because it was just permaban for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was it. I was like, we haven't seen that much Senna, and it's because it was banned all the
I
time.
think Wukong has the highest presence, but I
Because
thought
this
that
is
was,
just ban, not pick
But I
ban.
thought it was skewed because of the amount of times it was played.
Senna only became more popular more recently, though. At
The
the
whole-
start of the season, we were seeing heaps of like hyper carries, Cogmore, Twitch.
Yeah, I think Senna was still being banned.
Wukong has 25 bans. Who was the next one? Sorry, Laura. Lucian was the next one on 24.
24.
Close.
Yeah.
Really?
was
Because Lucian
close.
got played
And
religiously.
then Senna
for
was just
ages.
something, so we just all got baited. because
Senna's
we
just
thought it was
something.
Senna.
We had that whole period where it was like Lucian Nami and
Just
it was
on
getting
repeat.
banned
No one
every
banned it.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous.
But the
Look,
Wukong gets played so much. I can't
final
believe that.
question
That was a
time.
babe.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up. Have a look at what it is. 2 teams are tied first with a
This
first
is a
blood rate
skinny
of
stat.
70%. Who are the 2
Oh.
teams? Is it A, Chiefs and PGG? Is it B, Chiefs and Kanga? Ooh. C, Chiefs and Order? Or D, Chiefs and Direwolves? Ooh. This is actually...
Okay, my heart says Chiefs and Pentanet because we know Balkan likes to rip those early games.
Yeah, does this mean First Blood is included in deaths? Not
I was going
just
to
the
ask that
kills?
question, but because it's all
Ooh.
top teams, I'm assuming that it's win, like
With the kill.
good first bloods.
Yeah.
Wait. If you include both, then every team would have 100%. So, like, if you got first blooded...
That's true.
Yeah, so it'd have to be first blood.
Good point.
Yep, I just wanted to point that out.
That's a
every
very good
game
point.
You're like,
has
you've
a
embarrassed
first
me on
blood.
live TV. Thank you very
That's-
much,
I can't
Mac.
believe I have it. It's the grandpa outfit. I've got Alzheimer's.
That was my
Oh, no.
street wisdom that came in there. I was
All
like,
right.
hang on,
Okay.
my wits. Now look, let's write down answers.
This is why I don't
There's
do
the obvious
stats.
one, but I'm just going to
I'm throwing this
I'm
one
throwing
out here,
caution to
actually.
the wind because
I
Why
think I'm-
not?
I'm getting baited by the BCs, I think. I'm just like constantly like, oh, it has to be one of the ones in the middle.
I'm thinking
I'm
maybe,
thinking this.
maybe
3.
it's a Chad Cam angle.
Yeah, committed. 3, 2, 1, show. C, A,
I believe in you,
E.
Foreigner.
what is it?
Direwolves?
None of us got it.
Voltron the King. Who
Yeah,
thought?
Poltron gets hyphy.
Who
I
just
just
thought.
yeah.
We did. I was thinking about that one, but I was like, I swear I've seen Kiss A just like either be first blooded or get first blood so often that I'm like, oh, maybe it's.
But that doesn't matter, Matt, because then they're at 100% if they get first blooded.
In it a bit. I mean,
Didn't,
like, seeing Kiss A go for it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't Dante and Bulldog first
Smarter.
blood the Chiefs?
No, I don't know.
I feel like they did that Zeri game. You remember when like Dante was like 5-0 on
Yeah,
Zeri?
yeah, they doubled.
They doubled in the
killed.
bot lane.
They
That was like
double
first blood,
killed.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
true.
So I guess it's like Poltron,
True.
Simon just goes crazy about it. Zonis gets rowdy about it. True.
Zorinus does solo kill.
Sorenus does get some solo kills.
He does.
that is
He's
true.
pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
True.
this is what happens when you guys submit content for From the Fans. I
become a
smile.
mood.
I get happy. I enjoy you. And look, we have some skins. We're going to repeat one from the other day because you guys sent in a whole bunch of submissions. So let's jump on into it. At LCO on Twitter, go find the tweet if you want to throw them in. We actually have Carbon, who's snuck his way in. He went into the graphics guy and slipped him a 5 and said, hey, put this one up because it's my favorite skin. What, Christmas Anunu? A Nunu? No.
Yeah, so that is Nunu. That is Nunu.
Nunu. Yep.
No. I mean, it is a Nunu in the sense that there's only one of them.
Yeah.
But his name is Nunu.
He's got
technicality of it.
But I love the Christmas skin line.
Checkmate.
I'm a big fan of ugly skins. And I feel like there's a lot of ugly Christmas skins.
What's
that-
your
is
least
that why
in
you're
skin
sitting
of
next to
choice
me?
then? Because if you're a big fan of ugly skins, he's got a lot.
I don't have one for least.
he's
in.
on the spot.
I'm a switcher. Currently, I use the Storm one because there's a green chroma.
Yeah.
I have a green chroma rule. If there's a green skin, that I have to use it.
And that's not.
It's just a legacy
I'm loving
thing.
the discussion,
sure.
but we have lots of people that submitted skins, unfortunately. So, Tim, look, thanks for
Talk
being
about
here.
me
But
some
we
more.
got to talk about JB's favourite skin. Sentinel line was a banger. Awesome event too. True. I did like a lot of those skins. Is that Diana?
That is Diana.
Yeah.
Good eye.
There's
I
also-
didn't know she used her sword to paddle.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hey, multi-use.
Multi-purpose.
I guess
Yep.
the things
Loving
that she's
that one.
paddling are like enemies from the looks of it, not water.
That's
Yeah,
a
They're
like
like spectral
ghost-
wraiths.
Ghost stuff. Anyway, look, let's have a look at
Be a bit of a
number
lopsided
3. See what's there. We got a real squid, Star Guardian, an Animus squad. Easily. You reckon easily? I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Elderwood ones. I feel like every Elderwood skin. Is that what it's called? Is it like looking
Yeah,
real
there's
cool?
Elderwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elderwood's the
greeny,
one I'm thinking
purpley tree ones.
of. Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
only way I learned about Star Guardian is when they had it as a trait in TFT, and they had what was like Nico, Ari, Syndra. Who are the others? Is it Leona?
Soraka.
Soraka was one.
So Lux.
Zoe?
I
I don't
think
play
there's a
TFT,
Lux
Zoe.
or
mate.
Zoe,
Oh.
one of the two. But yeah, that's how I found out about it. Otherwise, I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Do you
Yeah.
think PGG have a skin?
No.
What?
Well, they have.
think you have
they
to
have
win
emotes.
worlds to do that.
Yeah, they have emotes, and that's like close enough, right? Anyway, look, let's talk about PGG. We've got to get into the matchup discussion, Rusty. I'm trying to move the conversation along because we're stagnating. And PGG, they're kind of stagnating as well, copping a few L's this week, more than you'd expect, considering what we're hearing about this team. They are very, very good, individually skilled members, every single one of them. Winter are actually doing a whole bunch of work in that top lane. A lot recently, even yesterday, look, keeping Bio on his toes in that Zach game, Zach matchup he had to play. But look, moving on over towards the Chiefs as well. This is where they really get tested, right? Like Chiefs undefeated. Tim, I want to hear your thoughts on this roster.
Well, I mean, these guys are obviously really extremely skilled. Aladoric has joined them in Split 2, and I think he's been a welcome addition. They, I don't know, you know, what do you say? Yes, they're 10-0.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they on the ladder. They're headed likely to the finals, but it's the manner in which they win games, right? It's that they're playing against teams like Auto, and it doesn't look close. And they play against a team lower on the ladder, and it looks even like you didn't think it could get worse, and then it does.
Exactly.
These guys are, I don't know, they're upset about not making Split 1.
It's funny you say that because the closest game I remember for Chiefs was definitely that Direwolves game. That was an interesting affair. Direwolves really showing what they're capable of here in
When
the
you see
LCO.
stuff like this, it's so coordinated, you know. And the gold lead in this game was bang on. You know, it was 38k apiece, and they just make a decisive call like that. And once they get a lead, they just shut you out.
It's rough. It's rough for PGG. Look, they're going to have to grab at some straws today, I reckon. You know, really get creative with it. We did see Vi picked yesterday, which we had a conversation before about.
Yep.
And look, we have Jungle, Mr. Master Jungle, Mr. Bloody, well, I'll call you Challenger Jungle. Are you Challenger at the moment?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's why you're on the here and Kitty's not.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured it out now. Anyway,
That's how we're doing it.
We have to get like at least
This
one of
spot
those
is a
jabs in
challenger
every
spot
show.
only.
I just know she's in chat. I know she's watched it. I'm so sorry, Kitty, but I'm kind of not. At the same time, look, it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a real test for PGG. And I want to know, you know, what's going on in mid because Yuri, he's had to play some different champs. What was it? The Cass yesterday that he pulled out, and it didn't end up being an issue. You know, we heard from Chippies who said, look, if he gets a roll, somehow he's going to win in the first, 10 minutes, and all of a sudden he's going to scale like crazy. But that didn't really happen, did it? So
I mean, I feel like it did, but it didn't. As in, like, he was incredibly strong. He could certainly, like, one-shot people like Zach, Biopanther. He could certainly have his run with Kissane and get that shut down, but that was the tough ask, right? Is that order completely rallied around Kissane, said, we just move as a squad, and whatever you do, we do, right? He was the VIP, the package, the one that were protecting, the one that led them to victory. So
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think his KDA and his performance was as good as it could have been, given he was going up against like a 10-0 Ari, but I welcome more hard carry performances from Yuri for sure.
Look, well, the man that's going up against Yuri today is the big man, Tally, who's going to be playing mid. Biggest
Here he
smile in
is.
the bloody LCO. Look, do you want to say hi real quick? Because you haven't seen him in a while, have you?
No, I haven't. Certainly not in person. How's it going, Jimbo?
It's going good, dude. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you excited?
Very excited.
Excellent.
Super excited. Now, look, I've, a little bit of housekeeping to get out of the way. When is Arthur going to get issued a HSP ban? Because he's committing offences.
No, okay, see, the great thing about HSPs is that you can't be judgmental. Anyone can put whatever sources they want on it, okay? And anyone can enjoy it however they want. That's the great thing about the HSP community.
That's so inclusive of
Very
you.
open-minded of you, James.
There you go.
I mean, you guys have been on an absolute tear recently, and despite, like, even when you win, it doesn't look close. How do you remain focused?
I mean, it's kind of, I think we're really good at, like, planning, like, steps in game. I think we're always thinking about the next thing to do. We're not really surprised at, like, what our opponents are doing, and it just feels like every single game we have, like, this lead, or we feel like we have a lead, even if we don't have a gold lead, where we can just secure Baron really early in the game. And I feel like, especially in OS, like, when you have Baron, it's just really easy to end on, like, one push, because people just tend to get caught and make mistakes. And we've just found success in doing that.
Fair enough. Do you enjoy playing Lissandra, or are you just on slave duty? Are you inting scrims? What's going on there?
No, okay, so, definitely in scrims, I'll be like, yo, I want to play, like, Xerath. I want to play Xerath this game, and everyone's just like, we need mid prior, we need early skirmish power, we need CC, and they're like, oh well, Lissandra's just like the perfect champion here, guys. Like,
Here we go again.
No, but actually, I really like playing Liss. Like, she is fun. Like, Ari and Liss and like all these champs are, like, sure they're like boring to some people, but I find it fun. They farm fast, they engage. What else do you need?
Very good. It sounds like you're not a big fan of Lissandra.
Oh no, I love Liss. I just always, it's funny when someone gets relegated to, like, you're the guy, you're the one who's doing the CC and the wave clear now.
Do you enjoy playing Ivan every game?
Yes. Well, yes and no. Depends who my teammates are. With good teammates, he's the most fun. With not good teammates, he's the least fun.
Does he lose you your games, Tally? Is that what I'm getting here when he plays Ivan?
No.
Tally would have to be in my games for me to be able to lose.
Tim, unironically, he's in the upper echelon of solo queue junglers. So if I see Erdtree on my team playing Ivan, I'm happy.
Cool. You don't dodge, is what you're saying.
Nah.
Yeah,
don't
good
dodge.
man. Good man. Now, last question before we finish this one up. I feel like I wish we were in the same room for this one, honestly, because you and Tim got this kind of chemistry going. It's International Kissing Day today, and I want to know who is the most smoochable on your team.
It's definitely Jahoon. Tim can vouch for that one for sure. It's definitely
If he
Jahoon.
said anything else, I was going to protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peaceful protest, right?
Oh, naturally.
Good, I'm glad, because I don't want you to have to get up off the couch. Now, look, Tally, we'll let you go. Get ready for the game. This has been a very enjoyable interview. I hope the game's just as fun.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye. Double hit. You got to wave. When they
Double
wave
hand.
you, got to...
I did the single. I initiated the
you
wave,
do your-
actually.
Oh.
You can check the ball.
Check the
That
ball.
means you have to follow his lead.
Need an
Check the
instant
ball. Serious
replay.
issue.
Okay.
Maybe I
Can we get a
would've
replay?
Can we get a replay?
Got to be a
See,
one-arm
I try to,
Andy.
like, mirror, like general mechanics of conversation is if you mirror what the other person is doing, they realize subconsciously that you're actually paying attention.
Do you do that with accents as well? Like, do you subconsciously take over the accents when you're talking to someone?
I have like one accent.
I've
done that before.
Yeah, I've done it
No,
as
no,
well.
no. I've
I
done
do
that
it.
before. You
I
talk
do
to
it.
someone and you start to pick up some of their
I talk
inflections by
faster when I
accident.
talk to him.
If I go back to England, I pick
Yeah,
up my
okay.
English accent.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I go back to New Zealand, I sound more like Cherbro or the rest. If I come over here, I try to say g'day.
I guess like vocabulary shifting.
No, but
More
also
so than
accent.
No, but like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tendencies
even
and
your
everything
voice.
else.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I really want to talk to someone from Texas just to see what I do.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, I reckon.
Fun.
Sure.
It'll be so much fun. Almost as fun as putting your Twitch points on the line for the Dare fan vote. Get those in right now. Let us know how you think this game is going to go before we have a look at our predictions. I feel like, it's generally safe to put the Twitch points on Chiefs, but maybe today PGG can stop the rampage. They tried to stop their loss streak yesterday. Chippy said that that's what they were focusing on, and unfortunately it didn't work as intended. So maybe today's the day. End the Super Week on a high note for PGG. Who knows? And let's have a look at how we think this one's going to go. Shields everywhere.
Makes sense, right? I mean, it's hard to go for anyone that isn't the Chiefs when the Chiefs are playing.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing about this matchup is Chiefs hold Pensanet in very high regard. So if ever there was a team in this league that you would expect to take a game off them, you would expect it would be the second in line almost to the throne where Chiefs are on top. But how do you beat this team? It's like what Carbon just said before, right? It's the Chiefs are in their own tier, and then everyone else is fighting for second below them because they currently are just the kings of O's.
I feel like it's almost a missed opportunity now. Jubes, of course, isn't in the country to have him on the desk as well as Carbon, because I feel like that could have just got too spicy.
I don't think that would have gone well.
It could have resulted in a brawl.
I don't think that would have gone well.
Look, I'm here to break up any fights that would have happened anyway. Look, me and Rusty, I feel like we're the bodyguards of the chairs.
I'll just be play-by-playing it, let's be honest.
He's just sitting in the background,
cheering.
I'm just going on for a day.
I think one of the big changes for this split as well is that Chiefs and Pensanet are scrimming each other. And I think since that's happened, Chiefs have been much more complimentary of them.
I think that's a great point. And unfortunately, Champ Select's ready, so you can't
All
continue it, but we can continue this conversation later. Ladies and gentlemen, game one of the day. Let's get into it.
Come join me on the couch if you want, Carbon. We can squeeze
Got
in.
space if you want.
We can have story time.
If you want to finish the... Oh, God.
Look, let's
Right,
get
calm.
real comfy. International
calm.
Kissing Day. We're hugging. We're touching.
My first day here, and I'm changing everything.
Ooh.
The social distancing.
I'm the adopted child in the middle.
Yeah, you do look like it.
So what was I saying?
Hit me with some facts. Yeah.
Since they've started scrimming each other, I think Chiefs have been a lot more complimentary. And what that says to me is they're probably dropping some scrims here and there to Pensanet, which suggests to me that we may see a Pensanet win eventually.
It's true.
Might even be this one.
It's only in a matter of time, surely. I mean, maybe the fact that they heard the interview, right? Lysandra has been banned away, so tell you what,
Stay as long as you want, mate.
You can absolutely
You
chill
wanna stay
here.
for draft?
You can
stay for
vibe.
draft.
Do whatever you prefer. First pick, though, from the Chiefs is going to be the Swain. So that one's out the gate swinging. Have seen Tally play it, obviously. Wouldn't be surprised if Tapoon had that in his arsenal as well.
Sandra ban from Pensanet. Smarts.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think it was Aladoric's tweet yesterday was you have to ban Rakan and Lysandra if you want to beat them. So that's kind of one of the steps along that journey. But this is also, I want to say that the PGG staple standard jungler for Balkan doesn't work with most compositions, but Balkan's so good at the pick now that they'll always find comps that work around it. It's really a big thing here for them and one of their most comfortable options.
Yeah, it's just a strong carry pick, and I think he's definitely one of their key players. And I think Pensanet look much better when Balkan is on. And whether that means picking a champ that's not necessarily #1 peak in the meta, just so he has a better performance, I'm totally on board with that.
Also early aggression, right? It's one of the most important things for them. It feels like, and this is a big just hyperbolic conversation on like how do you beat the Chiefs as they're hovering Alistar because they see Silas and just feel like countering themselves.
Why not?
Do you play early game aggression to beat the best early game aggressive team is always the big question.
Yeah. One of those ones, right? Because it's like, if we try to beat them at their own game, on paper, that probably doesn't sound like a great idea, right? But the difficult thing with League is that the consequences of what happens in the first 10 minutes are borne out throughout the entire game. It's really hard to not. If you're playing against a team that's so strong early, it's really difficult to opt into scaling because you do that, you make one mistake, a mistake that you wouldn't usually make, and all of a sudden the game is over in 15 minutes.
Certainly can be. What is interesting for me, though, is that is the 5th game in a row now for Arthur playing this Viego. His KDA, the highest in the entire league. His performance on this champion in particular has made it look ever so strong. What's interesting for me now going into the second rotation, Rusty, is that Rakan is the most played support. It's only ever been banned away from Aladoric once.
Yeah, so also here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chiefs go for like an Esbraum type of lane bottom, right? In response to seeing an Ornn third, you can immediately see a Rel's going to be taken off and a Rakan is a commanded ban by Aladoric. So this is where I feel like the draft can get super interesting because you've got Sejuani Braum that I still think is a combo with a melee jungler. It is one of the strongest level 1s in the game when you put them both on the same screen. So early aggression very much catered towards that comp. And Ornn can't ult if Braum exists.
Yeah, I think that's a really key point, is being able to deny that Ornn ult is huge. I mean, that is 5. If you count center, that's 5 support bans out of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
and 2 support bans out of Pentanet, and neither support is picked yet. So we're
Look at the smile at Aladoric as well.
yeah, we're getting pretty deep in the champion support pool here. So we'll see what these guys come away with.
You know what's so interesting for me on that fact is that last time these two teams went up against each other, we had 6 AD carry bans, right? We had our only Zarya performance of the entire split played by Praetor. So it really is a major focus that bot lane needs to be addressed.
The Jinx being hovered for Raze. It wouldn't be horrible here, I suppose.
Yeah, Jinx
Sort of
Lulu just kind of works.
interchangeable.
Right?
They're going for the... Okay, so they're picking Nort first. So not convinced that Jinx is the pick then. They wanted some extra time, unless...
It could be a Kai'Sa, perhaps, like Nort Kai'Sa with a bunch of CC tanks that they have on the team. It does make some sense. And the Aphelios, because you're not expecting to see a Thresh ever anymore, you are expecting it to be like an enchanter like the Lulu, most likely from Rogue.
Yeah.
So Nautilus it's kind of like just a hard read, perhaps, from the Chiefs saying, I'm going to pick Nautilus, you can't counter me anyway. And we know you want an enchanter.
Yeah, I mean, they're sort of doubling down on this teamfight comp, right? When I'm looking at the side of Pentanet, I'm looking at Sylas, Ornn, even Aphelios. I think, okay, this is a comp that obviously wants to teamfight. But when you look at Swain, Viego, Sejuani followed up with the Nort and the Kai'Sa, it's like, I don't know, I feel like first dragon, second dragon, some fireworks.
Certainly looking like the case. A lot of early aggression. And the Kai'Sa pick. Another champion that Raze is very at home at. He actually had a performance, a stellar performance. Thank you very much there, Carbon. A stellar performance up against Order. 13-1 was his KDA.
First time we've had someone that's not a play-by-play to talk about draft.
It's nice. It's actually kind of refreshing,
crazy.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
the easiest job of your life there.
I did. I just got to sit back, story time.
Listen to the draft.
Listen to wisdom.
All right, and yeah, so it is going to round out with the Tahm Kench. So not the Lulu path that perhaps we were considering just as an option, but TK is pretty comfortable for Rogue, and it allows that extra flexibility that we talk about with Rakan in terms of what it can provide. Rel also banned away by PGG, knowing that the Tahm Kench would then be safe, as the Chiefs will very actively try and get that counter pick. And one of the rare games here, Skimmy, where we have a support 5th pick counter. And with all of the bans that we saw, you definitely want to have the best option for you, but that has been so severely limited. And so is the engage options for Pentanet.gg. For a team that wants to be aggressive early, and like Carbon just mentioned, explosions around the first Drake and Herald, I do think Chiefs have a very good handle on early game here.
I certainly would agree with you on that front. And, you know, the fact that you want to try and shut down Aladoric, he's had that only really thrown at him once, right? The Gragas and the Rel matchup, where it was a case of this is going to suck for a little bit, but he found a way back in, right? So you'd love to see Rogue given that big challenge. That bot lane as a whole, right? Given the amount of priority in terms of the picks, the priority as to when they were locked in, but just those bans, right? To make sure that they could get the most advantageous spot. I guess overall, though, we are still looking at the fact that that Braum will find... you know, a fair bit of value to try and shut out a lot of these cooldowns. We have to wait and see, yeah, really, where these first fights come about. Because I'd imagine Drakes and Heralds, it's going to be the name of the game for sure.
It will be, but at the same time, I think that Pentanet.gg are going to be very happy playing for a side lane and scaling into team fights. That's definitely a point for them. You know, 2 items, 3 items, going to be big break points for them to look forward to. You can see, first of all, Ornn to give them the ornaments for scaling. Sylas gets better and better with time, with lots of good ultimates to steal away. The Nautilus and the Swain obviously is the big one. They immediately locked in Sylas when they saw the Swain first pick, and they would have known full well that it was going to tally.
Certainly would have, but it's a consideration as we load in straight away for another chance to shine and close out a Super Week, our only Super Week, but a game that certainly, top of the show, is one to keep your eyes on. It's the game everyone's keen to see. It is that ever so exciting upper bracket semi-final that went all the way to a Game 5. And it's happening now during the regular season one more time. All right, well, let's check in then with the coaching staff. I do believe on the line joining me today, we do have Babip again. How are you, man?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we had, you know, Carbon joining us today, so it's almost like a welcome introduction, almost like a throwback to Legacy 2020. But I want to ask you, we've heard from Telly and Razor a lot of compliments towards the strength of Pentanet. So would you say that they are realistically your biggest threat at the moment?
I think yes, they definitely are. I think the compliments are just because they kind of scream demons is what it seems like. They've been having some underwhelming performances on like stage games, I think. Whereas we've been having some like pretty clean games. So it's gonna be interesting today to see because both teams kind of know what each other play, like we know everything about each other. So it's going to be interesting to see like when it comes down to it on a game day.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we sort of saw from the draft as well. I mentioned last time we went up against each other, 680 carry bans, which is just unheard of. This time around, a major focus, even from yourself specifically, towards the support role. So does bot lane seem to be the main focus or the strength, would you say, for both of these teams to try and find that advantage?
Yeah, I definitely think that whichever bot lane is in the... I mean, in this case, it really came down to like pretty standard bot lanes without any enchanters. So I think both teams, yeah, I mean, the enchanters just got banned out, 7 bans or something. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But we got everything we want, so.
Let's see how it plays out. All right, Bevan, well, I'll leave you to it. Pleasure as always to catch up with you, and wish you boys the best of luck to close out this week.
Thank you very much.
All right, getting into this game, you can see Chiefs will get level 2 first here. Alidoric going to hit the hook just as 2 comes across. It should just be a health trade, but very favorable for them. Just trying to pull out some miracles there with his hook at level 1 while it looked crazy. Otherwise, the rest of the map just going as per normal. Balkan is going to be pathing from his blue all the way up to a 6 camp clear on the top side of the map. Maybe 5 camps to scuttle into a lane, but he doesn't necessarily feel the need to gank too much. A lot of this game for PGG does revolve around hitting level 6, you know, hitting breakpoints with items as well more than anything else, and starting to have it big team fight moments. Tally doesn't miss these either.
He doesn't. He's hunting for those stacks early on, but Fury very aggressive with his mana pool, right, to try and trade Elf and find an advantage or find a stance in this lane to bully either one out. I'm actually really interested to see how these 2 mid laners do play, right, because they are very keen to try and shove and roam.
They dive this.
Say that. We'll see what happens in the bot lane right now as the TV's going to come on through. The stun starts up. Alidoric is in, and same with Raze. Just the flash away as he tanked up the turret to get the kill. It's Arthur who's going to claim the soul to try and drop the aggro. He's running for the hills. He's becoming a Philios, but he's just been too slowed.
Okay, Yuri will get himself the trade kill. I can't believe how well that worked from the Chiefs. That is a full health Praetus and Rogue on Tahm Kench with exhaust, and the heal there from Praetus. So they had to ignite immediately to prevent the heal value, and they still have flashes. There is absolutely worlds where they outplay that. So you have to give credit to the Chiefs how this kicks off. Tahm Kench predicting the flash still hits the knockup, but Raze is tanking. In theory, that's the worst case scenario, right? There's maybe a flash towards Raze, towards the minions. Shouldn't have aggro by any means, and away from Arthur. But they will still get the trade. The issue for Pensanet.gg is the wave that they missed at the same time as that kill being traded. Still quite favorable for them. And a free reset from Tally as well in mid, being able to get a bit of extra CS to equalize what Yuri got.
Definitely is. And what did Yuri get? Well, he got himself a double buff, which is very nice of him so early on, right, to try and continue to be as aggressive as we saw in that previous trading pattern. Certainly a lot of strong skirmishing power for him to throw around. But the bot lane, obviously you get that assist, you get that goal, but you get that massive CS advantage now. Only, what, 5 minutes in?
Yeah, and it was really nicely timed again. If that dive works, and it obviously has, then you put them even further behind, even if it's a trade. Even if you kill 2 for 2, 1 for 1, you're still getting yourself an advantage from minion control. And as you respawn, the wave bounces back towards you. It's going to build, it's going to crash again. And remember, that was done by the Chiefs on vision. PGG couldn't have been more prepared to see that coming, but couldn't actually counter it.
Look how many wards they have in the river right now. The entire, from start to finish, is lit up. Max range on the hook right there as Alidoric goes in. 2-man knockup, though, from the Abyssal dive. Rogue trying to deter them, but... oh, Chiefs just continue to press them forward and make Praetor's life a bit of a living hell.
This is not the first time, and it won't be the last time we see Alidoric lock in Nautilus and just go absolutely insane in laning phase, hitting every single hook. Nautilus is quite kind with the hooks that you throw, but Alidoric times it so well with Raze, always ready to step up and deal damage himself. Going to clear their way through the top side, bottom side river rather. 2 control wards to be taken out early is extremely impactful. And really means all of the vision that they had is completely gone.
Yeah. Huge vision denial. Bit of extra gold in their back pocket as well. Can't go amiss, and certainly making sure that it's not living rent-free. And Pentanet said as to, is that gank going to work again? You know, even pre-6, how early on it was. What we can say, though, is Balkan has been farming up an absolute storm.
Yes, we can also say that the experience advantage that he got from Arthur wasting time, not wasted, but spending all of that time going for the dive bottom means he is 4 to 5 in terms of experience. Balkan is almost level 6, keeping up with solo laners, while Arthur's going to have to secure this Drake for 5. He is extremely far behind in that respect. And this is one of those points in the game where you're like, okay, Belkan's about to find himself a lead. He might even tick 6 close to off this ward. What can he do with the advantage that he has? Is it just farm more? Or is it to actually gank somewhere and do something meaningful?
It's such a unique Balkan pick, isn't it? I mean, we've only seen a game from Lived in the top lane. We saw Lionel substitute play it in the jungle position as well. Otherwise, it really is just the Balkan special. Globally, not really there to talk about. And we've seen what it's done in Split 1, even in the playoffs as well, right? He certainly can 1v9, but from what we've heard from the coaching interviews from the Chiefs side, right, it's a case of trying to translate their scrim performances into the stage, and no doubt they'll understand that this is a pick they need to bear in mind.
Teleport comes out from Topoon there just to get back to his lane. Winterai just had a surprise guest appearance from Belkan, who pushes the wave in for him, hits level 6, and Rogue actually protects the bot side jungle camp. So Pensinet.gg moving fluidly across the map as a team to make sure that everything is theirs, stays theirs. And it's Chiefs on the other side that are just kind of, again, nothing really feeling pressured here. No hard press. Both teams do want level 6 very much. And up until that point, very content farming. Small advantages just from the pressure that existed, but jungler, old PGG, is bottom now.
Looking for Aladoric, who is going to get connected on by that knock-up. The exhaust goes out, the flash away, but Tom Kench stun is soon to land on through. Balkan's here. He's ready to lay down the damage. He's got the ult, and there's the execute.
That was really greedy from Balkan. He ults to secure the kill on an already dead target. Make sure the last hit was his, though. And so the Graves does get a lead. The Graves does find an opportunity to get ahead. But Rogue is the star of that show. Raze is going to find himself the Graves. Nothing doing beyond that. I mean, if we get a replay, that's just a hero moment from Rogue. He did everything correctly. From the knock-up to using his flash to block the Nautilus hook to make sure that the kill was 100% theirs.
Pensinet now going to make sure that not only do they get that kill, but they get a big chunk of change by guaranteeing a whole host of plates in the bot lane. The trade-off right now, if we do a bit of a jungle comparison, is Balkan is farming, he's fed, he's strong, hold that full for 2 seconds, Rogue could be in trouble. He burnt double sums, as you mentioned, but the Ignite is just not enough to tick him on down. Balkan rocks back up to the area and just make sure that Chiefs continue to stay back. I was just going to quickly add, though, that Arthur's gone for the Drake and he's gone for the Herald as well.
They actually just stopped the base from Tom Kench there with a Swain W also, and they get themselves a fair amount of tempo on the map as a result of that. You can see Arthur is now going to be moving towards the red buff. He's going to be able to steal this away for sure. Belkan realizes how much time he has spent bottom, knows that he can't go to his own jungle camps and will go to the enemy red buff. Luckily for him, of course, we'll find it there, but that passage of play we thought was just going to fizzle out continued to add on to it constantly. And we'll see this one more time because let's just highlight how good Rogue is for a second. Uses Sweeper, gets confirmation Aladoric's in the bush, uses W at the very back end of it, and exhausts to make sure with just the third auto attack on there to get the stun after, and the flash from Rogue to stop the hook going onto the wall. 100% confirmation of a kill. Your Tom Kench has just carried your bottom lane.
Certainly love to see that coming out of Rogue nice and early. Making sure that the justification of these picks and those bans was well deserved, that they will be the focus. Which bot lane will perform better? And will that be the highway to victory here today? Relatively even game though, 10 minutes in. Goal difference really nothing too much. Pensinet with a slight lead at this stage. Obviously Herald is in pocket though for Arthur to utilize to try and even out those odds. But a lot of plates is what I'm noticing, is what Pensinet are requiring.
Yeah, turret plate's going to be seen in mid and bottom for them. Just lots of pressure bottom, right? The fact that Belkan was sitting there hitting in a 1v3, he was going to pressure for that one. However, the added bonus of Rift Herald can equalize a fair amount of those plates. As we ask the question, where will it go? Your Swain has incredibly cheap item spikes, so right now what is just the lost chapter from Yuri is a full Imperial Mandate on an Ignite Swain. I would like to see them use the Swain for wherever they choose to go with that Herald play. And you've got Drake up in 40 seconds. So I think now is the perfect time to be hyper-aggressive around your mid laner. Look to force a play as Aladoric gets active with Arthur hovering.
Looks to be the case, doesn't it? As they will be denying a fair bit of vision. Balkan does have the Umbral Glaive as his first purchased item, so we can look to try and mirror that as well. Very nice vision denial with the Sweeper as Chiefs first to the area, first to deploy.
Control Ward's going to be placed down at the blue buff bush, but not actually going to be cleared out. Aladoric now going to move around here. No Sweeper up, however. Has to be a control ward from Arthur if they want to clear that ward, but he probably wants to save his control ward for the pit. They're actually just going to summon straight away. By doing so, he'll actually get the sweeper to activate to get to the pit. Chiefs still hunting. Belkan hooked.
Instant gold for Raze, but the fight goes on towards Balkan, who just gets caught to the side. Just a full sweeping of CC cooldowns out of the Nautilus. And a flash away there, otherwise Tally and Tapoon had Yuri in their sights.
I mean, speaking frankly, that's pretty disrespectful by positioning here of Balkan. Mid's being pressured. He doesn't have the ability to walk into the river and walks through wards to get there. I don't think he had the Umbral Glaive ready, and if he did, it was on cooldown. So straight through a ward that Alidoric placed. Why is that bad? It's because they saw Arthur and Alidoric walking through there. Rogue saw them, they made eye contact, and they both warded this bush. So there's a little bit of audacity there from Balkan to do something that shouldn't happen, and very nicely punished by the Chiefs.
All that good work actually paying off minutes prior. Looks like we got ourselves a Hex Gate to play around with. Nice, fun little angles for them to look to try and maneuver around. Big Goldly, though. I mean, it really starts from the fact that that dive that shouldn't have worked at, what, level 3, level 4 has netted now Raze a huge item advantage. He's already got the Kraken Slayer.
It is quite a large Kai'Sa, to be sure. Praetor's still going to be no slouch once he gets his items. Absolutely scales to be a very strong AD in this game, but it is the acceleration of this Kai'Sa, the turret plates that go alongside the kills, and it's still just an assist for Raze, all things considered, right? It's just got a lot of money from the pressure of his team. But this has kind of unlocked Alidoric on this Nautilus to be active around the map. It's not an enchant to match up bot lane. It is a Tahm Kench that can also roam. This feels like both Rogue and Alidoric are in their comfort zones. This is split one, Rogue and Alidoric, to say the least, in terms of play styles, and they are going to be absolutely prospering from it. You've seen highlight plays already from the two of them, above all else in this game.
I want to add a few more clips to that potential montage. Vision once again of the utmost importance here for Chiefs. Keep tabs as to where Balkan could be and make sure that this bot lane is going to be heavily favored in their regard. So 2 Drakes to their name. Next Herald up to play for in a minute. We mentioned from the drafting phase, yourself and Carbon saying how much skirmishing we should witness.
Yeah, you're expecting to see a lot of fights around the Herald, a lot of fights around the Drake. The interesting thing is that Pensanet.gg have acknowledged they don't want to do that. Hooks on.
Another max range hook. A 2-man depth charge. Rogue goes golden. Praetor for trouble. Burns the flash nice and early. Turns around the Moonlight Vigil. He's got infinite chakrams now, but he just doesn't have the range to lay down the pain.
Mectread's Ender's stopwatch from Rogue. Very difficult to kill the Tahm Kench with all of those abilities up. Praetor's also switching to red-white, your classic don't fight combo. And is going to be able to at least staunch them off once he gets all of the stacks up there on his chakram. Arthur just hovering to make sure that it's free, and you'll constantly see this. Tally, being mid lane as Swain, just dip into Fog of War, dip into a side, and just throw your W to one of those side lanes. And just that added pressure. Not only are you making them dodge the ability to create a bit of space for your team, but if it hits, you've got Imperial Mandate, it slows them down, and your team's going to do bonus damage in skirmishes. So it is that, like, fake global, that pseudo-global influence that you can have if the skill shot hits. And there's crowd control in side lanes, so it should hit.
Certainly your gank to consider, as Raze had to sacrifice that bot lane tier 1 in favor of picking up the red buff, and now going back to base and up towards the Herald with the rest of his team. Right now actually going to respond to that wave, as he is the most fed member on his team, but Yuri, in a league of his own right now.
Making their way in, it felt like for just a second there, the Hex Gates speed up resets and deployments onto the map, but they're not going to try and contest this Herald. Way too slow on the uptake for the objectives, and I do think, again, this is intentional from PGG. They just don't want to fight yet. Yuri's doing well, like you mentioned, top of the gold here. Balkan hovering close behind in third, keeping up with his solo laners. Everything going as expected, or almost according to plan here. Chiefs will get the objectives, they'll get the early leads. PGG will only feel pressured by the next Drake going down. I wonder if they'll contest it in the first place, or if they will just concede the third Drake of the game and try and get close to the second full items. Tally walking in with Arthur.
It's looking like a fight's about to break out here in the top half of the map. A TP has to be burnt to try and force a numbers advantage. Tally, with the Demonic Ascension ramped up and ready to go, he's going to cycle through those cooldowns. He's got Flash, he's got Ignite, but he's dead, knocked up in the air. Hook comes out from Alidoric, looking for his kill target. Raze cops the depth charge, stolen away there by Yuri, but Arthur now sitting on a double kill. He is the Toad. He's jumping in. He's stunning you down. He's claimed himself a triple, Rusty, hunting for that fourth and final, potentially that Pensanet he said he could get yesterday. Underneath the turret, Tapoon with a whip at the flail. finalizes that one.
And Chiefs just show off their individual skill. Topoon going to make sure this base is not immediately to be had by Praedyth either. They don't catch him slipping, but the Chiefs will win the team fight. Gold still even in this game is the craziest part of this, and it was a little bit messy at the very start by the Chiefs. The Ornn ultimate that comes through from this teleport, first of all, teleport timing exceptional by Winterer. It buys so much space and time, and they try and CC lock the Ornn, still gets it off. Tally instantly dies, fairly squishy build. Yuri has a nice flank off the Raze, but the Kai'Sa ability of flipping the team fight puts himself in the back line. And so while the carries of the Chiefs are surviving, Arthur is getting the reset. He's finding pick after pick, and that's the worst case scenario playing up against a Viego, right? You don't want to give him that first kill, let alone 3. We're back.
Yeah, from a replay, back into the action. The boomerang goes out, but it doesn't find its target. The Drake is still being engaged. Balkan doesn't want to forget about that one. He's going to secure the Drake. The first of the game here for Pensinet. Winterer, he's gone. He's out of this fight. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Once again, Tally flaps his wings and life leeches his absolute heart out. Yuri has this time managed to actually get into the back line and remove Raze from the equation, but Topoon, who starts things off, ends it with a double.
Praedyth managing to just stay there and do the gromp while his team is losing the fight around him. Didn't really have anything else to contribute.
Oh no.
Contributed 300 gold to the pockets of Arthur, actually. The Bank of Arthur is absolutely loving this game.
Things you hate to see, that right there.
And this is 2 fights back-to-back that go very nicely the way of the Chiefs. It's not without a cost. This time it'll be the life of Raze as he goes down. And while the Sejuani ult missed, note that it pushes Rogue and Praedyth towards the top of the fight, and that is straight into the waiting arms of Tally on this Swain, who holds his E until the perfect moment. Balkan stuck in the pit away from the rest of his squad, who are disengaging, but maybe they're not disengaging. Yuri still Swain ult says, maybe we can teamfight this. We've got to shot their low. But they'd already lost people, right? They'd already lost a lot of their extra teamfight damage. I'm yet to see something that makes me really happy with this Graves pick. The entire split. Give me.
I think that conversation completely began from when we had a Sejuani top into a Graves jungle. You're thinking, why not the melee? I mean, sure, it's a carry jungler. You love to have that online, but the passive not really finding its full effect. Graces, be careful here. Rogue is quite keen, but a TP actually in response from Chiefs. They're not messing around. They want to look for something, and look, they will do just that. Topoon on cooldown, really, it feels like, just chucking out this ult.
Sejuani actually gets a lot of value in this game if you consider that there is a lot of slows from PGG's composition as well. It's not necessarily a hard crowd control. You sprint through the smoke screen. Tahm Kench does nothing with a tongue lash. We're able to keep going at full pace, but just slightly off on the ultimate there. Winterer, you would expect to be able to get a Demolish proc, so a bit of damage onto the turret, but beyond that, still well and truly on the back foot. The big piece of compliments and praise that we can give to Pensinet.gg at this point is that it is only 2,000 gold, which is super surprising with how the last 2 team fights back-to-back have gone.
Certainly is. Did feel like with that initial play towards the top side, it was a case to be made as to who could try and hit the backline access as quickly as possible. Ultimately, a Killer Instinct away completely shuts it down. The rest of the bruises running amok in the Pensinet side. But even just in that fight beforehand, right? The fact that, you know, Demonic Ascension was stolen away there by Yuri. He did the most damage. I mean, it's a Leandries. It's absolutely going to rip through the ranks.
I mean, to me, the crazy thing here is that Praedyth is 50 CS down, but he still has more gold than Balkan and Winterer. They pressure the bot lane, but still the rest of the map struggles. Teleports to come through from the Chiefs here. No minions, but a dive still happening.
Yeah, Tally's here. It's going to be a 4v3 as another TP comes in, this time from Pensinet. And every member, all 5 strong from the Chiefs, are at the enemy raids. They'll say, we want to try and steal that away. We won't be successful, but we'll have a crack at it.
Well, here, right?
Pensinet just trying to fend them away.
When in Rome. They're in the area, they may as well have a crack at what was the red buff, the only thing really up and ready for them. Arthur continuing to pressure. No signs that they want to do by any means the Baron. Looks like it actually is just Arthur timing the Raptor camp, saying, we're contesting this, good luck. Going to get bodied out, however, as the Chiefs will choose to reset. As far as objectives are concerned, the fact that Pensinet.gg do secure the Drake buys them time. This isn't a mandatory Drake contest, but still one they want. And I would not be surprised to see them start to get a bit more hyphy here. However, it is not 2 full items for Praedyth, while Yuri and Balkan do have theirs. Maybe not the strongest point in the game, and not something you want to go out of your way to make happen if the circumstances aren't correct.
Certainly. Frosty is rushing the Lord Dominix for max DPS at this point in the game. Perhaps if his weapon setup is primed and ready to go and desirable for the situation they find themselves in, they will still have a crack at it, given what you just mentioned and how strong Yuri and Balkan are. Oh no, he's gone through the Hex Gates. That's not where you want to be, Winter. You got to run away. Nice Bellows Breath to make it unstoppable for just a second. Aladoric's hook will connect, but he will not be stunned, and quickly breathe a sigh of relief as he can regather himself with his team in mid.
If anyone's going to go through that Hex Gate and walk into the face of the opponents, it better be the Ornn. Yuri split pushing top lane at the same time here, so they're giving themselves an extra pressure point. I like this because it means you don't have to contest the Drake, and the Chiefs still feel pressure to do it on cooldown because there is no one top.
Oh, Glacial Prison goes out instantly. That is the consume there from Rogue, who just absolutely gets punished for it. Now the bot lane of Peace, or Pentiment rather, just ceased to exist. There is no peace on the map. Chiefs want everything. The Ornn ult goes out. Called it a Forge Gold, knocked them up once, knocked them up twice to Poon in trouble, but turns around with Tally, who once again does a bit of a chicken dance on them, goes golden for a second. Life Leech going through absolutely crazy. Now it's a dance between who can do a little bit more.
Yuri,
with their Swain cosplay, Yuri has stolen, and he is marching forward just out of range of the chainstone for a third.
Geez, that's actually really well done by Yuri, but he was so late to this fight that it makes you wonder what could have been if he was there from the get-go. I'll have to watch it back, but he teleports in when his team had already lost. Not really showing intent to fight, perhaps even channeled a full recall for an item. But you can see it reflected in the damage in that last team fight. When Silas takes away a Swain ultimate, it is devastating. This is well done by Rogue, but Praetor still gets hit by a Nautilus ultimate. Ultimately is just going to fall. The full recall is completed and channeled by Yuri. He's walking out of base for no particular reason, then realizes that he might want to teleport in, and by the time he does, Balkan's already out of the fight. Is one hit and he's going to fall. This is not even a matter of seconds. That's up to 10 seconds of not contributing to a team fight. A very large Silas that you want to have involved. To me, makes it feel like, did PGG even want to fight? Probably not. And it was still close.
And look how strong they were when they did be forced to fight in a way, right? It's kind of crazy, the outcome that was presented. The aftermath is that Chiefs get themselves a third Drake. They're on now for another team fight. Once again, we're looking for that wombo combo. We're looking for that initial pick. They put all the damage on towards Winter. The Ornn is being shredded like butter. No chance to live. Aladoric slingshots him in with a hook to knock up just Tahm Kench. Rogue running away. Pensnet split. But they'll regroup and Chiefs will be forced to back away.
It's going to be really hard to chase the rest of Pensnet.gg back towards their own turrets, but they push them away from the jungle in its entirety. Aladoric is going to place a ward near the red buff, and they're going to Hex Flash into the Baron Pit as they kick this off. 100% Pensnet.gg are in the area, ready to contest this. I feel like the Chiefs want to turn.
4v5, do they have a crack at this one? Winter can TP, and if they can buy enough time. Tally once again having a bit of a juke out here with his mid lane. It's actually going to be raised. It secures the Baron. Tapoon's removed Balkan from the equation, and now Yuri versus the world. He's burning them all. He really saw a 1v4, but he can't do it all, Rusty.
And I also am pretty sure that Rogue had ultimate ready and could have stood on the other side of that wall, and I'm confident that the Tahm Kench ult can devour over that space. But they leave Yuri. This feels like two different teams playing League of Legends together, Skimmy, to me. There is Yuri, and then there is the rest of the team. Another example of it just happens there. Again, Chiefs, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just pressuring. They're forcing objectives, right? They bottleneck themselves into the pit. But no one on PGG is really looking for the same things that Yuri is. He goes for the fight closer than he has any right getting.
He's trying his absolute hardest in this game to carry his team to a victory, to a formidable upset. Let's run it back one more time with the initial Baron play.
Yuri goes, Balkan gets straight to the pit and has to smite at like 1500 HP, just throws the gauntlet. Praetor's out, Rogue's out. Rogue realizes that Yuri's not out, comes back, he's like, I can ult you, but he's gone. That's just, again, it's not two people communicating. It is one person fighting and one person running. Hooks on again.
Max range hook, yep. The unstoppable frames expire, and same may be this Ornn's fate as he turns around with the knock-up. And that brittle proc did absolute wonders for them. It's a 1-for-1 so far. No support for no top laner. And Chiefs still game and ready to go. They had that Baron buff, Rusty, but they might be told you need to be
they are on their
kind of wary.
This is a really long chase by Pensnet.gg if they go for this at all. Balkan's going to watch Tahm Kench in.
Oh no, Rogue's jumped in. Balkan goes across the wall. Smoke screen goes out, raises the target, but he just dashes away for the meantime. Invisibility, get a bit of attack speed. Rogue is getting as close as he can, trying to land those tongue lashes, trying to connect with that stun, just out of range. The thick skin comes in clutch, but it's Brave that founds the kill.
And they only get Topoon. The Chiefs limp away with no health on almost everybody. Raze has to ult, has to cleanse. 1 HP on Arthur for sure, and Rogue finds a 3-man knock-up, and he had Balkan ready. If this 1 in 5 Graves was 5 in 1, they all die. But the way the game has gone so far just didn't cater to that. Great attempt from PGG.
Huge attempt. Certainly weren't going to be disrespecting in that one, given that Chiefs had overextended their welcome. And didn't blindly jump into the river, laid down the vision. Certainly laid down the trap. A welcome addition there for Praetor. Another kill in his arsenal to try and match the power, the tempo, and the strength of this Kaiser.
So things that do matter here is stopwatch broken for both mid and jungle of the Chiefs. Raze has one, ready to be prepped. Big team fight breakpoints are usually around those stopwatches, but the fact that they're going to be mostly missing here by the ADC, Zone is now going to be completed by Tally, so times it perfectly. Pensinet.gg only have Zonius on their mid lane, are hooked again.
Glacial Prison once again goes out on towards Winter. It's the tank, it's the target. Yuri on the flank, completely unchecked. Raze needs protection. He's going to run straight into his team. Give himself an out. The ult's been stolen away, but Yuri just gets CC'd into oblivion. He cannot play the game.
Just eviscerated, taken apart piece by piece. Yuri cannot find any purchase in the team fight, and once again, Pensinet.gg will lose it. That means they now concede a Hextech Soul. And the Chiefs are just going to be far too strong. Here they go again.
They want more. Superman Raze blasting through the skies, in for the kill, and assassinates out Praetor. The Chiefs bot lane say goodbye to Pensinet's bot lane.
And the last 2 members standing get taken down. Chiefs are going to look towards pushing Balkan up in 4 seconds, Winterer in 10. I think all of them feeling quite sad about the fact that they have no Merc treads against a million different stuns, as I think Winterer has been stun locked for about 60 seconds straight in this game.
He's done what he can with the Bellows Breath, but an all can only take so much punishment before it will inevitably fall on down. The damage has been laid as that mid inhibitor will fall on down. Yuri with the widest flank with a TP behind enemy lines is coming on in and trying to once again be that hero, that solo queue demon, that 1v2 monster. Winter here to back him up. Balkan is there as well. Tapoon in trouble, gonna sacrifice his life to ensure Tally can run away.
Yeah, Tally flashing out. Hexgate going to come forward by Graves. Can dash over the wall. They can try and find and hunt him, but he's using vision. He's going to get spotted here. He shouldn't have based. They'll find another one, Skimmy. Still a fighting chance. They are not out of this game. They refuse to be out of the game. They will fight at all times. But they are 7,000 gold down.
They are fighting tooth and nail for every single objective this game has to offer. They don't care. They will go absolutely wild about it. But you raise the big talking point, right? Massive difference in the jungle. Massive difference in the top lane. And it still feels like the repetitive narrative of if Yuri pops off, if he doesn't get locked on down, he really can 1v5.
And it's 4 items to 2 between ADs as well. A 650, almost 700 gold shutdown for Razors. It just ticks down 50. One thing to consider is the Ornn item upgrades are coming through. So the Kraken Slayer has been upgraded, the Leandris has been upgraded. That's something that helps equalize what is a 7,000 gold difference. Maybe take 1,000 off per item that you're seeing, approximately, right? So 7 becomes 5. And that helps people like Praetor who are behind a full item, if not 2 full items, to their respective opponent. Big item breakpoint would have to be the Infinity Edge, the 3rd item that this Aphelios is building towards. That will help a ton, but so far behind until that point.
Oh, the stun's landed onto Yuri. That's the target you want. The Glacial Prism misses, but an instant devour to prevent that kill being found. Death Charge was consumed upon, and the Moonlight Vigil is going to do a little bit of AoE shredding there.
Yeah. And the Hextech Soul stops Yuri from basing. He hasn't realized. There he is. He was just standing still from that one. A little bit sad. Baron the only really play on the cards here. No Drake to be looked at for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Time is what Pensinet.gg are really after. But will they be granted that luxury?
Surely now you're just really hoping that you don't give Chiefs an opportunity.
That actually revealed them in the bush.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want them to close out the game right before the Elder spawns. You want to try and take that 50-50 split, that handshake, a way back in to really close that deficit.
That Hextech sold Zap into the bush, literally revealing where they all were. Compliments of one Swain W. Baron started already at 10,000 health, gets absolutely shredded if Raze is hitting it. Praedyth is recalling.
Has to cancel that one in a heartbeat. Certainly no chance to shine with that one. Glacial Prison once again off cooldown, goes across the wall. Onto Balkan, he's dead! Raze is unstoppable, and Chiefs have Baron.
Arthur pressing forwards in a 1v4 situation, does not care, no regard for human life. Continues to press forwards. Doesn't quite get the E down though, so the mist not going to enable him to keep going forwards. And Baron in hand, soul point secured. Very difficult to stop their push now.
Certainly is. 90 seconds on that mid and head before that one respawns. 2 minutes before Elder comes on up. 15 seconds and Balkan rejoins his team. But Chiefs want to put that final nail in the coffin. There is the second inhibitor. They mentioned, Tally saying, you get Baron buff, it's so easy to close on out. Glacial Prison doesn't stun, but it certainly slows them. Chiefs are marching on to end this game at the 32-minute mark. Yuri once again jumping in. He's jumped in so many times this game. He's found one just at a range as the Moonlight Vigil to try and take out Arthur, but he's still being burnt. Sent to the afterlife. He's going to revive and fall down all the same.
They've actually given over 1,000 gold shutdown. Pentanet.gg will hold the fort. The base stays alive, and the turret left standing means it is not an open nexus. These two teams are very good at fighting down to the very last moment, aren't they? This game's showing to be no exception to that. The game gets brought back to about 6,000. We'll see the fight one more time. Winterer will bring out the Ornn ult. Yuri will steal Tally's Swain ult, and this is where it becomes two Swains, just team fighting on opposite ends of the fight, but the Zonia's for both of them. Unfortunately for Praedyth, the Aphelios ult just missing the mark. The Vigil doesn't find the targets that he's after, but the damage was already done. Yuri is legitimately unkillable if he gets that Swain ult. He's 10-4 with 300 CS. I'm telling you, there is one man on this team who refuses to lose.
Mate, just look at the total gold graph. It really does paint the entirety of this game.
That's got to be close to full build. He's got that Codex. 17,000 gold. Yeah, he's got his Cosmic now, so full build for mid lane here of Pentanet.gg. Close to for the Chiefs, but much cheaper items for Tally, and you can see he's 5,000 gold down. Raze has been absolutely, I want to say quietly achieving, because that's what it feels like. He's got absolute stars in front of him running them down in Arthur and Topoon. And Tally, of course, there as well, but this Kai'Sa is the real threat. If you want to win the game, you have to deal with Raze.
Yeah. I'm looking at where Raze is and where Yuri is. Right now, he hasn't got a flash, so he can't easily jump onto Raze. But out goes the Glacial Prison once again. The hook is just out of range in response. Winterer, Call of the Forge God, flash! And he headbutts into it. There's the pillar, but he can't find the follow-up that he needs. Yuri jumps in, instant devour. That's clutched by Rogue. Is that shield enough? He goes golden for a second. Same for Tally, who's been exhausted, but no, Yuri's dead. He's been shut down. Rusty, he's tried this move from start to finish. He got that initial kill, but it's just such an uphill climb.
And they gave it their best attempt. That's all you can really say here for Pentanet.gg. Chiefs, still our super team, still a tier above, still completely unstoppable in the LCO.
And still undefeated. The Chiefs march on through at 35 minutes and now are 11-0.
Maybe the closest attempt we've realistically seen so far from this split of the LCO in actually taking it to the Chiefs. Good base defense. Let's see if they actually get 3. Tally's worked it out.
I was worried for a second that he was going to get juked.
Oh, that was a mess though. That was an absolute bloody mess.
The one with Raze, we don't need a replay on that one.
Popping out of his chair to prevent the 3 high fives.
Oh, don't know, look.
Oh, they've got techies.
You've just got a meta revolving around this entire team there, Mac. I mean, I've never seen high fives that look so graceful.
Yeah, very good attempts from all those post-game celebrations. Maybe apart from the Raze Arthur chemistry, which we need to see a little more coordination on.
That could use some work, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. But the game itself, look, early game from PGG played extremely well. Mid-game and late game from Yuri in particular played almost astoundingly, but it just felt like what we were discussing in the green room was that PGG looked like they were just not on the same page at moments, and that may have been what cost them the game here. Chiefs, everything, their coordination in their attack, in their approach, just looked so damn good, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're so decisive in their skirmishing and in their team fighting. I mean, what we found, this was a really good game. And actually, the early game from Penton, I was quite impressed with. I thought Rogue played probably one of the best games I've seen from him in a few weeks. And I thought they'd set themselves up for a really good match. I mean, even here, it's still, the gold is even, despite Chiefs having won that last skirmish. They're going to win another one here, and they're only going to be up like 500 to 1,000 gold. So the gold remained even throughout the game. The problem is that Pentanet just could not buy a team fight win. Because every time the enemy appeared on their screen, they just fell apart.
And like Yuri, I just want to see the scoreboard at the end just to see how much damage he put out, and then compare it to what Tally was doing, because
he was on demon mode.
Just
Yeah, he was
ults
beast.
up so many times. We were looking at the player cams as well. Yuri looked defeated towards the end. He's like, I've had the greatest game so far. Maybe not the best
as well.
Yeah.
Raiders just bails. And Yuri's just like, guys, I can literally 1v5 this if you stand next to me. Rogue still has Tarm ult. I mean, I understand when you see your mid laner Zhonya's in the middle of 5 Chief members that you think there's no way we can win this. But like you see the 10 seconds afterwards and it's like they literally could have 3v5
And you can attest to this as well. It's just bread and butter League of Legends. In competitive, 5 people doing the wrong thing together still got a better chance, And that was Yuri going in while 2 people abandoned ship, and you could see what could have been didn't happen.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate, really.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
This is going to be a great game to do VOD reviews on and say, guys, we need to clean up communication and coordination in like these aspects. When someone's going in, say, help, please, I need it. Just anything.
English
In.
words,
I think one of the positives you can take away from this, if you're a Pentanet fan, is that this was actually a good game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whoa, 50k. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got Leandri's and the
Death cap.
Demonic.
demonic embrace. So that's
Yeah,
so much.
everything.
That's so much percentage health damage.
That is.
But that's he was on demon mode. He was. Yeah, when you saw him at the end, when they lost that last team fight, didn't look good in the player cam.
He
Felt
was
bad for him.
real sad. Gold diff as well. You can see that was swinging back at moments to PGG, but we noticed, look, for the first 20, 22 minutes or whatever, it was very, very close.
Even then, you see a little spike at the 20-minute mark, but then they bring it back at about 25 minutes. And if the gold is even in a 25-minute game, you're red hot in there with a chance. So for me, I think this was a really good game, a really good showing by Pentanet. Yes, they fumbled every single team fight, more or less.
Yeah.
But Chiefs looked mortal. And I think if Pentanet continue to iterate on this version of themselves, 1 or 2 skirmish wins, and they could have come away with a dub.
Well, today, Chiefs still undefeated, and Aladoric is here to have a quick chat to us as well. Ali, how you feeling after that one? Got a little close at moments, didn't it?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, it was actually a really close game. But it was really fun.
Yeah, looked pretty fun.
What goes through your mind when you're in a team fight and you see Viego pick up his first reset?
Just keep going forward. So pretty much in this game, if Viego gets one reset, we pretty much just win a team fight. But honestly, this Silas was really unkillable for a long time.
He was
every team fight, it was just unkillable.
He was Demon Silas for sure.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Nervous? A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, 25
I was a little bit
minutes.
nervous.
He was doing too much damage?
Yeah.
When he held the base, when he gave the shotty?
In the game, I wasn't nervous, but before the game a little bit.
Oh, okay. So, giving the Silas a 1,000 gold shutdown, you weren't worried about that at all? You were like, oh, that's whatever?
I didn't even notice we gave him 1k shutdown, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Extra items just appearing out of nowhere. Look, another question I have for you quickly. Early game, we actually saw a series of unfortunate events for yourself, which wasn't really your fault, with Rogue just doing a lot of work. I think he hit you with, it looked like a blind dive, knocked you up in the bush, and then you tried to hook away, but he actually flashed in front of you and stopped you from hooking away to safety. How's that feel when you literally have no choice, no way of safety, no matter what you did, he was just in the way.
So, Aldo, you just got completely dunked on. What did that feel like?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
Honestly, we didn't expect Valkan to come bot at that point in the game, but honestly, it's a good play. Because if you guys had good guns, just hit tower and trade it for Herald, but we thought they would just try and fight Herald. That's why I didn't expect to actually die there. But in the end, we were still happy with it because we got Herald and we know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
exactly.
whatever.
I only ask because there's not many moments where you get outplayed. I'm just saying, every game we see you play, you're doing the outplaying. So it's a rare moment. Now, quickly before we wrap up the interview, it is International Kissing Day, and I want to know who's the most smoochable on the team. Tally, picked Tapoon earlier. Do you feel betrayed?
Nah, I'd say Jihoon as well. He's such a cute little boy. Love Jihoon.
Beautiful. All right, we'll let you go.
My cute Korean. All right.
Enjoy the W.
Thanks. See you guys.
See you, mate.
There you go. Happy with that win, wasn't he?
Well, when you beat the second best team or second place team or one of the 6 second place teams.
When you win a game in the
When you win a
LCO.
game.
When you win a game.
Welcome to the
really should be
LCO
happy.
broadcast. It's like when you beat that team that was second, came third, now is somewhere. Who bloody knows? Anyway, Dare MVP discussion time. Who deserves it from the Chiefs?
It's a good question, actually.
I'm waiting for someone to say Arthur so I can say no.
Because like I don't want to say Arthur.
Yeah, because he
Oh,
played
sorry,
well,
sorry.
right? And it's,
Yeah.
Arthur.
No. So because he played well, right? He
Yep.
played well in team fights. His KD was
So
insane.
Yeah,
But it's also kind of just a Viego moment, right? Like they had that first skirmish. He picks up the Ornn, and then he just, here you go, quadra kill.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are skirmishing. You're playing League, having a skirmish. One person in this skirmish has died. Here's 3 more kills for you because you picked this champ.
I would say it's one of the bot laners.
I'm looking at the bot lane. It's either Aladoric versus hooks or his depth charges were always forcing out cooldowns.
Is
or
there a
moments of
reason?
panic.
Quickly,
Okay.
is there a reason we can't give it to Yuri?
When you go 45% damage share and you're dragging your team kicking and screaming across the line, I mean, obviously they didn't win in the end. I think there's an argument to be made, but
I think, okay, so the counter to that is in this case, there's still deserving people on the Chiefs.
Very true.
Yeah.
I thought Tally played really well.
Yeah, Tally did as
Tally?
well.
Yeah.
Hard to look past him because obviously of Yuri stealing
There
the
was 2
ultimate and being
Swains
like,
meeting the
I'm
enemy
also
team.
Swain, but
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Very good. Well,
But I thought he played really well.
unfortunately, he did get out Swain, but let's go with Tally on the Swain. Big performance there in mid to get the Dare Iced Coffee MVP. Again, that might take him a few more up. I feel like we've seen that pose in the MVPs a few times now. He might be up there with
according to
Dante.
plan.
3, 4, and 18, 75% KP, and I just got confirmation this is his 3rd, so he's now tied with Dante for most MVPs as well. Big performance from Tally, Skimmy.
It was a huge performance, right? When you're looking at Swain nice and early like that as a first pick, nonetheless, right? You pick a very cheap itemization build, so we're going to build to skirmish, we're going to build to fight. Viego gets that initial kill bot lane, which is just crazy and just never looked at a place, right? Drake's been stacking up, Herald on cooldown, just gold leads that didn't necessarily really substantiate, but ultimately skirmishes that were just constantly on cooldown going their way.
Well, look, we've got a second game of the day to get to, and to get there, we've got to go to another break. So, ladies and gents, we'll see you just after this for game 2 here on the LCO. It's Kanga up against Grav.
And the Chiefs are just going to be far too strong. Here they go
They
again.
want more. Superman rays blasting through the skies, in for the kill, and assassinates out Bradiff. The Chiefs bot lane say goodbye.
Hey, look, menu pump.
Shinami comp. But also the cat. I'm sure Rogue is so excited to be here. In fact, he's feeling so excited he's going to do up his tie.
He is. He did struggle with that last time, right? Lost in draft to that one.
Yes, he did. He'll also have plenty of time to do it, though.
He
If you
will.
want to Google a guide on your second screen, it's only Yumi.
You're playing Yumi.
It's
so
only
there you
Yumi.
go. Hands off keyboard, let Bradiff win the game
I think
for
we
you.
just sit here and judge him. He doesn't know where to go from here. No,
He's
that's
lost.
not it. That's not it.
Nah, take the cam off me, please, production. He doesn't know, but we do.
Oh, he's gone for the
Okay, here we go. Oh,
schoolboy tie.
being a little bit manacle.
Ah, he's got it.
Yeah, do it up.
Looks
Dapper.
like the small part of the tie is longer, though, so he's really messed it up.